Vegeta meets Beerus and becomes a Super Saiyan God far earlier than normal. Now with him on track to becoming Beerus' rival, how's that going to affect things going forward? We'll cover all that and more in this third part of What If Vegeta Was Reborn. As Vegeta arrives on Beerus' planet, his training begins immediately. Whis starts trying to look into Fu, but he can't really find anything about him. Vegeta mentioned that he might have been some guy related to the Demon Realm, but Vegeta didn't really know for sure. And on top of that, they have no other info about this guy. Whis could feel that weird presence around the universe, but that's really it. Vegeta wishes he had more info, but Whis says it's not his fault. It's good that they know about this. It's pretty strange. Beerus then asks Vegeta to explain more of what he was capable of in his past life, because clearly he retained a lot of those memories. Vegeta says he actually has most of his memories. Saiyans have pretty good memories in general, and everything's intact there. Now, he's not going to remember every single minute detail of his life. And of course, he didn't come to Earth as a kid, so anything that happened between Planet Vegeta's destruction and the time he arrived on Earth, he knows nothing about. Plus, with everything else that's changing, he doesn't know if the events on Earth are going to go exactly the same. But Beerus doesn't really care about any of that. He cares more about what Vegeta's power's like. Oh, well, that's pretty simple to explain. After Super Saiyan God, he finds a way to combine it with Super Saiyan, becoming Super Saiyan Blue. Now, Vegeta only just got Super Saiyan God, and his body has to get acclimated to it again. Of course, he remembers how to get Super Saiyan Blue, but he's also gone nearly 20 years without using Godly Ki. His body does need to adapt again, and once he remembers the feeling, he assumes that he'll be able to unlock Super Saiyan Blue in like a week or two from now. After all, it's Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God, and he's already mastered Super Saiyan. After that, he could probably get Blue Evolution, though honestly he's not really sure where that form came from. He just kinda got it out of nowhere. But then he talks about his destructive powers, and Beerus gets really happy to hear this. Vegeta learned how to control destructive energy, and he had a whole form surrounding it. It's what he called Ultra Ego. He doesn't know how far off he is from it because, while he remembers how to use it and what he did to obtain it, he still has to hone his body a ton. But even if it takes a few years to get it, it doesn't matter. He's still going to be way ahead of where he was normally. Maybe in this lifetime, with a head start like this, he could actually surpass Beerus. Vegeta also has to kill Frieza. He's still out there, and he knows he'll find the Emperor someday. It's not like he's a big issue right now. It's not like he has instant transmission like Kakarot had. Wait a second. Actually, he might. He does remember his spirit control training, and even though he only used instant transmission once, it would be really helpful to actually use this, so he could potentially use it to transport himself anywhere. As he trains with Whis, he also tries to get his spirit control training back. He remembers what Paibara taught him, and it looks like he could still harness spirit fission, which isn't really useful in most situations, but still a pretty cool thing to have. He's very rusty with spirit control, especially because he didn't really utilize it a lot after he fought Moro. But he'll also have the ability to duplicate himself, change his size, heal people, etc., though it is really weak at the moment. But most importantly, he thinks he's picked up an instant transmission again. It feels so wrong using this, but without Kakarot having it, he should at least have it. And he first tests it out by traveling to Earth. He teleports there. Broly finally gets Super Saiyan, and he controls it pretty much right away, which Vegeta didn't expect. He has trained a bunch otherwise, he just never has transformed before. And once they actually train him for Super Saiyan, he's fine. Oh, so Vegeta was worried about nothing. Now, his power is still insane. Broly is way stronger than everyone else, which is a really huge surprise because when Vegeta gets back to Earth, he sees a few Super Saiyan gods. The other Saiyans wanted to catch up, so a few of them did the ritual. And because of them doing it, pretty much everyone else started doing it. It's really crazy to give everyone Super Saiyan God early on, but why would they not do this? At the very least, I feel like Bardock, Nappa, Raditz, and Kakarot would want to do it. Broly wouldn't get it out of fear. Maybe Paragus and Guinea would want to get it, but I don't really see them being very active fighters here. And as for Tarble, I also don't see him being too proactive here. But also for those reasons, because they don't want to train for their power, Super Saiyan God is pretty perfect for them. They're probably not going to train beyond this, though. And the good thing is, with Super Saiyan Blue, he could easily stop Broly if needed. Plus, with all these Super Saiyan gods around, it's not going to be too much of an issue. Vegeta's also been gone for a bit, and he asks if anything interesting has happened so far. They say nothing really, but there is a new guy who's saying that he's King of Earth. They're calling him Emperor Pilaf. Pilaf? Why does Vegeta feel like he knows that name? Oh yeah, that little blue guy that hangs around Trunks. Wait, he's the king? This entire time he didn't know about Pilaf's scheme. He wasn't present for this before, and he barely knows anything about Pilaf in the first place. He feels like at one point Bulma might have mentioned them to him, but he didn't think they were actually going to try and take over Earth. But that's what happened here. Without Goku's help, Bulma went to hunt for the Dragon Balls, but she wasn't able to get them. She actually didn't make it far in general. The Pilaf gang found her, stole her Dragon Balls and her radar. Then, they were able to get the Dragon Balls on their own, and they wished for Pilaf to rule the Earth. Well, Vegeta doesn't want that to happen here, because clearly that's not how things are supposed to go. Vegeta storms Pilaf's castle one day. There's a bunch of guards there, but they can't do anything to Vegeta, and Vegeta doesn't even notice them. No point harming them, they're caught up in Pilaf's scheme. He then makes it to the king's throne, and Pilaf says he ought to kill Vegeta, but Vegeta just stands there menacingly. Is this guy really serious? Fine then. He summons his mech with Shu and Mai helping him, and he laughs maniacally. This will surely scare Vegeta and kill him. Vegeta simply lifts a finger up, and with a single air blast, he completely dismantles the mech. Vegeta doesn't even need to kill this guy. He simply duplicates himself a bunch using spirit control, and now Pilaf is terrified. There's a bunch of Vegetas around him. Vegeta glares at him once more. He'll give Pilaf one chance to escape. Otherwise, they're all dead. The Pilaf gang scrambles and they leave the castle. Sure, he wished to rule Earth, but he didn't permanently become its ruler. He's not immune to being overthrown. The funny thing is, Vegeta didn't realize that this was being televised the entire time. The Saiyans didn't actually care about Pilaf ruling anything. They just thought that's how things were supposed to go, and they didn't want to mess with any of Vegeta's plans. Plus, he wasn't much of a threat to them. But as for everyone else on Earth, he was a dictator, essentially. Though his reign is very short-lived, and everyone sees this televised defeat of Pilaf. Around the world, Vegeta is viewed as a hero. Crap. Vegeta got way too far ahead of himself. He's even interviewed after the fact, and he tells them to get out of his face. Nappa's watching on TV too, feeling annoyed for his leader. He really hates the media. Look at what they're trying to do to Vegeta. Just give him some room to breathe. But that's not the end of it. The media follows Vegeta around. A bunch of people follow Vegeta around. There's whole rallies for him. He's seen as Earth's new savior, and its new king. Vegeta has now become King Vegeta, King of Earth. He didn't even accept the title. What are these idiots doing? They have the complete wrong idea. Not only does he not want to be famous, but he doesn't want to be King of Earth. That Pilaf guy was pretty weak too. Anyone could have toppled him. He's sure someone else could have tried to become king. Speaking of that, he wonders where Piccolo is. He knows that he used to be King Piccolo, but he actually doesn't know the full story about how he was unleashed and all. He'll probably show up soon enough. But he's surprised that he didn't try to take the throne. The 21st World Tournament happens, and Goku's not involved in it. He's replaced by another young martial artist, and we'll go into her story later. The Red Ribbon Army tries to overthrow Vegeta. He doesn't want to be king, but he's not going to let these people rule Earth, so they are very easily stopped, and the other Saiyans help him out too, so the Red Ribbon Army is wiped out regardless. Damn it, Vegeta really needs to undo this. He wanted to be more low-key. He was trying to make this work, but it's not going to work. He knows one way to undo this, though. The Dragon Balls. Though he doesn't want to go right to Bulma just now, because he's still a little bit terrified about messing things up there. It's like he keeps procrastinating, and he knows eventually he's going to have to do that. He instead goes to Kami, and Kami is surprised that Vegeta knows about him in the first place. Vegeta explains what happened in his life. This guy's a god, he doesn't mind telling him. Kami sort of believes it, but is just more confused if anything. He's actually been going between here and Beerus' planet. Thanks to instant transmission, it's not really too hard. But he stayed on Earth a little bit longer because he didn't want to leave until he fixes this. Kami says he can't just give Vegeta the Dragon Balls. He could search for them if he wants, but he doesn't normally just summon all the Dragon Balls up here and give them to whoever he wants. It's not like Vegeta's a bad guy or anything, that's just not how Kami does things. That's right. Vegeta barely knew Kami in the first place. Sure, he was on Earth while Kami was Guardian, but he's so used to Dende being Guardian and Kami being a part of Piccolo. He kind of mutters this to himself, and this just confuses Kami even more. He remerged with Piccolo? Vegeta says not to worry about that right now, although he guesses he will have to get Dende here soon. On top of that, Vegeta needs to wait another year for the Dragon Balls to be active. Wait, what? It's been a year. Kami says someone just made another wish. Oh god, what is it this time? Well, Kami says that someone got the Dragon Balls and wished to be taller. Frieza? Frieza? No, Kami doesn't know who that is. He said it was the leader of the Red Ribbon Army. Really? He wished to be taller? They could have wished to take over Vegeta's throne, but that's what they wanted? It doesn't even matter because he was killed by his own men anyways, and then the entire army was defeated in general, but that just delays Vegeta another year. Fine. He's gonna go back to Beerus' planet. The next step is Blue Evolution, then Ultra Ego. He's making good progress, and some other Saiyans do want to join him. Beerus allows it in exchange for food, but only a few. Bardock, Kakarot, Raditz, and Nappa join him. The first man who believed him, his greatest rival, and his former crewmates. It's a group he's fond of. And he's actually viewing Nappa and Raditz in a much better light than the last time he was alive. But he says Kakarot shouldn't be here. He tells Kakarot to find Master Roshi. Kakarot's really annoyed. He wants to train here and grow stronger. Why backtrack? It doesn't make sense. But Vegeta reminds Kakarot. He knows what's going to happen in his life, or at least what happened before. In order for Kakarot to become the greatest warrior, or second greatest in this lifetime, he's going to need his full training. And he tells Kakarot to look at the others. His father, his brother, Nappa. They're meatheads. They're only focused on strength. Which is fine, but Kakarot watches for a bit. They're training with Whis watching, but they're not actually training with Whis. They're kind of just fighting each other, sparring. They don't have good foundations like Vegeta does. They're going from 0 to 100, and it won't be effective. The only real training they have is from Vegeta. Otherwise, it's just sparring with each other. He tells Kakarot he needs to mold himself. He'll grow slowly and get the foundations, and then once he gets here, he'll have much faster growth than any of them. Plus, he plans on sending Tarbell with Kakarot too. Curious to see what his brother will become in this lifetime. Annoyed, Kakarot accepts. Vegeta does know what's best after all. Age 752. Vegeta returns to Earth. Finally, the Dragon Balls have been restored, and everyone cheers at the return of the king, but he has to keep a really low profile, so in a disguise, he goes to Capsule Corp alone. This had to happen eventually, and when he gets there, he's very casually greeted by Dr. Brief. He's not really annoyed by it, but it is pretty funny to Vegeta that he's greeting a king like this, just as expected of his father-in-law. And then, for the first time, he meets Bulma. She's awestruck seeing him, and he thinks it's because he's king, but no, she just finds him attractive, and she never got to wish for a perfect boyfriend. Is this finally it? The boyfriend came right to her? She never even met Yamcha here. Vegeta can't believe what he's hearing, but yeah, at least this tells him Bulma's the same person. Though, this is going to be really embarrassing. Vegeta and Bulma go out to gather the Dragon Balls. She's made another radar, and with his strength, they're not going to be stopped by anything. The entire time, she's very clingy, and she teases Vegeta too. You know, deep down, he does like being with her, but he's still Vegeta. He doesn't really know how to handle any of this, which she likes a lot. But more importantly, Vegeta's content. Things might be okay. The two of them get the Dragon Balls together, and they wish for order to be restored. With the way the wish is done, King Furry becomes the ruler of Earth again. Vegeta and his crew are no longer famous, and Vegeta breathes a sigh of relief. Some more time passes, and we get to the 22nd World Tournament. Kakarot joins, and he holds back a ton. One of the other contestants at the tournament is a girl named Chi-Chi, the other student of Master Roshi, and she was involved in the previous tournament. Following Pilaf's takeover of the world, Ox King had her train more to be able to fend off evil. Of course, that turned out to not be a big deal because then Vegeta saved everyone. Everyone still remembers Pilaf. In the minds of the general public, King Furry was just able to take control back, and Pilaf was completely disgraced. It wasn't Vegeta that did it, it was King Furry. Anyway, she's a member of the Turtle School, which is the former school of her father, of course. Kakarot has also met Krillin, and Yamcha even eventually found Roshi too, so they're both there. Kakarot and Tarbell have also trained with former students of Roshi who have showed up before. Chi-Chi's father, Ox King, showed up there, and a guy named Gohan too. Gohan particularly took a liking to Kakarot, noting his potential. Kakarot still doesn't really get why he was sent there. He's annoyed because he wants to get ahead, but he wins the tournament. Roshi meets Vegeta here too, and he wonders what Vegeta's game is because he knows Vegeta sent Kakarot here. Vegeta wishes he could explain, but it's a lot. He tells Roshi to just nurture Kakarot. He'll be the greatest warrior to live. Tarbell actually didn't join the tournament because he knew Kakarot would win, and he also didn't want to make it unfair for everyone else. But he's technically the second strongest student of Roshi. Anyways, the Pilaf gang is still alive. Right after this tournament, Piccolo's sons attack, but Kakarot saves everyone, single-handedly stopping Piccolo's entire crew. Kakarot ends up killing King Piccolo, although King Piccolo is still able to spit up an egg. After Vegeta learns of this, he's a little bit concerned about the fact that Piccolo's not going to be here and that Kakarot might have just gotten rid of the Dragon Balls completely. But Kami's still on the lookout, and that tells Vegeta Piccolo is still going to come here somehow. And following this, his next natural step of training is going to Kami, who's been watching a lot more closely ever since he met Vegeta. And sometime after this tournament, Vegeta and Bulma get married, and Vegeta decides to tell her his secret. At first she laughs, but eventually believes it. That's interesting to her. She knows aliens exist after all, so it's not too crazy to think that some demon guy could reverse time. Wow, she bought into that really easily. By the way, she still does know Jocko here. Jocko was sent to Earth a while back, in order to stop Saiyan children from being sent there, but he didn't accomplish that. Especially because he saw so many Saiyans, he panicked. But he still met Tights and all, and eventually Bulma. Anyway, she asks why Vegeta doesn't want to be king. Wasn't his father a king? And why not bring back the Saiyans? He said that's not who he is anymore. Earth has changed him. Bulma changed him. Kakarot changed him. The Saiyans would never adopt this way of life. The ones here are exceptional. 3 were kids, one of them, Paragus, already hated the Saiyans. 2 of them, Bardock and Guinea, were already very soft by Saiyan standards. The only normal adult Saiyan was Nappa, and he resisted the change. He hated it at first and had a lot of pushback, but his loyalty to Vegeta helped him overcome it. Vegeta imagines that if thousands of traditional Saiyans like Nappa were here, they wouldn't conform so easily. The old guard would rise up and spark a civil war. This planet would be ravaged. Some Saiyans would change fully, some would just yield, but many won't do either of those. Vegeta also says he doesn't want to rule over the people here. He's way past that. He just wants to grow stronger, and Bulma admires that. No wonder she married Vegeta in a previous life. He blushes, embarrassed. Well, she finds it romantic that he was still able to find her in this life. And she fell for him instantly, he didn't need to do anything. They're both content with where they are. The Pilaf gang is still alive, though. They need to go bigger, better. They find the Saiyans' old base, and they see some weird technology here. But as they go through the Saiyans' belongings, they also see something else. A drone is following them. They almost didn't notice it. Someone else is spying on the Saiyans, and through a speaker on the drone, they're told to follow along. Maybe these people have the same goal. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.